I'm Tom Shields.
Cody Smith.
And this is the Wall News Podcast. Got a great one for you today. We got them. We got Broadway Chicken here. Broadway Hot and Honey Chicken, I should say. And the two co-owners. You got to introduce yourselves. Go ahead.
What's up, guys? Mike Filato.
Mike Filato.
How's it going, everybody? Michael Kelleher.
And they're our heroes. So,
Yes, they are.
Cody.
Heroes.
You guys do some magic stuff over there. We really appreciate it, and we appreciate you guys coming on. We're hoping to tap into the magic here and your guys' brains. I think Cody's going to start you off with that.
Yeah, we're both big fans. We've been multiple times, had different stuff, and just trying to get the word out there more for you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
So we'll start off. Welcome. First, just tell us about how this brilliant idea came about.
Well, I mean, we've been talking about it a long time. We love the flavor profiles. These concepts are huge out west, down south, and you don't really see it in the Northeast. So we just took a swing, and we were doing a lot of practicing in my other business that I think
We're going to talk about that
Tom
business
will talk
too.
about in a little bit. And we just knew we had a great product. You know, like every time we tested something, we were like, "Wow, this is insane! I think everyone's gonna love it."
So was it more of a feel, or you guys did research, months leading up to, or how'd
So,
that start?
so it kind of evolved over time.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, initially this was going to be on the boardwalk.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
We were looking at spots on the boardwalk to put it, and just after doing some more research and checking things out, it kind of evolved for let's look inland, and then where are we going to look inland, and then we were just kind of checking out different areas, and then when we found the plaza, we knew it was the right spot. So it was really like an idea that just kind of blossomed over time.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure. So yeah, you guys are the big talk of the town right now. What kind of feedback have you been getting from the local residents?
Great. A lot of thank yous. Wow. It's a lot of people. We didn't realize that we'd have so much volume, like people sitting and eating dinner in the place and like loving the vibe and the energy. It's been good. People have been loving it.
And the menu's extensive. I mean, there's so many cool things on that menu. I think it's going to take us a couple of years to get through the whole thing. How do you guys keep up with that menu? I mean,
So, everything we put on the menu, when me and Mike were discussing it, I said, I just want to be different. Everybody does like the same stuff at every place. So like we literally tried to find a way to make something unique in every single category. So like I can't tell you how many people come in and they're like, where's the mac and cheese? And we look at each other and we're like, we can make mac and cheese, but like you can get that anywhere.
right.
We're trying to do something different. And in about a couple days, we're gonna unveil our new Broadway bites, which is like basically like our twist on it. They're gonna be coming out. You can be able to start trying them. This weekend we're gonna have them on the menu. Mm-hmm. But it's just like everything we did, we want to do different with the drumsticks. The double butter drums. when we were testing them in the kitchen, one day I looked at them and I'm like, Mike, let's butterfly it like a veal chop.
Thank God I'm a butcher.
And I don't know how to do that. And I look at him, and he looks at me, and he's like, all right, let's try it. So we tried it, and then we just started messing with it, tweaking it, and then we looked at each other like, this is amazing. Nobody does this. And that's kind of how it started. It's like everything we just looked at in a different way and just tried to figure out how to make it something unique.
Yeah.
Is that the most popular thing on the menu?
It wasn't, actually.
Really?
No, we weren't. We were selling them, but not as many as we are now. When I don't know if you guys are familiar with Josh's food. I think it's called Josh's Food Stuff. He's got like 50,000 followers.
Okay.
He messaged me one time. I was like, hey, I want to come in. I want to do a food review. And I was like, sure, no problem. He's one of the people that everybody respects the most because he actually gives people bad ratings.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of these people, they want money. He doesn't take money. And he takes the food. He tells you, I take the food, I do it in my car, and you don't know how I grade this. So he goes, he has his whole setup, he does his car, and he was out there.
His car must really smell.
Yeah. Yeah. He was out there for like 45 minutes, but we had no idea whether it was good or bad. And then finally, and I've been following him for a long time, so I knew like what was the best score he'd ever given, like who said was good, who he said was bad. And then finally he drops the video, and he gave us the highest score he's ever given anybody ever, any restaurant category. And it was the double butter drum.
Wow.
So as soon as he did that, it was like the next day we're selling out
You guys
every
are
day.
swamped.
Wow.
Yeah, now
Yeah,
it's just
so
become
that-
such a popular item for sure.
That put him on the map, and like pretty much he called him the Thor's hammer on the video.
Nice.
And we actually had somebody come in the next day, and he's like, I want to order the Thor's hammer. And the employees are looking at us like,
what is
It's a
that?
great marketing
what is
idea.
that?
Right. It's like we can't call it that. We don't get Disney involved, but it does look like Thor's hammer.
So yeah, ever since then we're selling them. Now it is definitely one of the most popular items, and the feedback we're getting on them is just like outrageous.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't had them yet, but
we haven't yet.
they look incredible.
Well, special treat. We have some.
Oh,
boy.
wait a minute now.
Yep,
We're
we
gonna have to
brought
try that after the rapid fire questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm so glad I didn't have dinner. This is a little treat from the Broadway guys. Excited.
So a little fun fact, I'm sure you guys are aware, you guys are sitting on the spot where the iconic Circus Drive-In was for so many years. And hurts my heart just pulling in there a little bit because I miss that place so much. But do you guys see it as like a way of you guys, they're passing the torch for another iconic spot in
Yeah,
town?
I mean that's what we're hoping. I mean, you and a lot of people have said that. Like they were sad to see this
Oh, yeah.
center go up in that space, but I think we brought something that can hopefully, be iconic as well. And we've been off to a good start for sure.
It's a new tradition.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
chicken fried tradition.
Sure.
I love it. I want to just get back to this. When you guys were getting together, you're looking at boardwalk, things like that. Were you doing your market research and seeing that the demand for fried chicken and chicken sandwiches has exploded in the last 5 to 10 years? Was that why I was gung-ho about that?
So I've been following the trends for a long time.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Mike about this. The world's going towards more like natural, healthy foods, not so much processed foods. And it started with like the whole gourmet burger phase that popped up. It was the smash burger and the Five Guys. and
Five
all
Guys,
that.
yeah.
It went to this quick serve. Like it was this new thing that just started. Everybody's like, what's quick serve? So the food's cooked to order, and it's usually all fresh ingredients as opposed to fast food. So that started. Then the second phase of quick serve was the whole like Mexican craze, right? It was the Chipotle,
Yeah.
the Bubba Cruz, and they're all killing it. And I love them all as well. And I actually said to Mike, I was like, I'm telling you, the next one, it's going to be chicken. And I was like, it's going to be just all restaurants that just do straight chicken, but like natural, right? So like everything we on our whole menus, and like we went back and forth about this, and we both agreed wholeheartedly that everything on the menu has to be made fresh, all natural ingredients, like nothing's processed, nothing's frozen, and like that was like an actual non-negotiable. So we were talking about it, and as we were building this restaurant, we started seeing it happening. Like, okay, now it is happening because now these just solely chicken spots are popping up.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
we knew this was going to happen.
Somebody told Dave's Chicken that you guys were opening up because they opened one up right in Ocean right before you guys.
Yep.
But you guys are way better.
Thank you.
I've had one of the chicken sandwiches when you guys first opened. I mean, that breast is huge.
Yeah.
And that's what that is, a chicken breast, right?
Yes. Yes.
Where are these chickens coming from?
That's our secret. Can't tell you.
You
that.
can't tell. All right, don't.
No.
Please don't
No.
tell. We don't want the corporates getting your local secret here.
No, we definitely. I mean, we use a high-end product, all natural chicken. We got a little process, like a secret brining process that helps
Good.
keep it tender, juicy, moist. So, but again, can't
working.
tell you anything about it.
That's okay. Don't. Please don't.
And again, like the size like of everything, like that was another thing that we discussed. Like all of our portions are large, and
Yeah.
all of our sides are shareable. We have some people like, oh, does it come with anything? No, they don't come with it. Everything's a la carte, but we tell everybody all of our sides are shareable.
Yeah.
Whenever two people come in, they each get a sandwich, and we tell them, one side is going to be plenty for the two. You want to get more, go for it, but you're going to be taking some home.
Oh, yeah.
That's how we build the whole menu.
It's lunch and dinner.
Well, that's why I told you with the Cobb salad, too. You weren't able to finish it in one sitting.
No. No, yeah. When I was talking to Mike F. over there, I think it was the first time you and I chatted.
Yes.
Actually, it was the second time. I don't know if you remember the first time. I know you guys probably see thousands of people. But I came in the first time before we did this podcast, and you had me be the guinea pig for one of your sauces. I don't know if you remember this. Man, you probably have a lot of guinea pigs. And I was like, who is this guy? He's like the Willy Wonka, like fried chicken. He's just like, hey, can you try this for me? It was really good. It had like a soy taste to it. I don't know if you remember this. Is it on the menu? Is it not?
It could have been our Thai chili.
No, that
maybe?
was when we were testing the sesame ginger.
Yeah, you know what? I think it was the sesame ginger. Absolutely.
We have a bunch like on the back burner that stuff that's just fire, but we're holding it all back right now.
Love it. I mean, instead of Oompa Loompas, you guys got like high school kids working back there. Like, you know,
Yeah.
try this out.
Yep.
Oompa Loompa. No, I mean, so the Cobb salad. I'm a Cobb salad guy. I don't like to tell a lot of people
Same.
because I don't know how they feel about it sometimes.
Listen, that's why I said it to you. I said, I like it. I know you're going to like it. Let's try it.
And I've had Cobb salad in Savannah. I mean, Charleston. I'm
You're a
a
Cobb
Cobb salad connoisseur. Yeah.
Sorry.
And I gotta say, not because you guys are here, I'm not blowing smoke. That was the best Cobb salad I've ever had in my life, with the pickled onions. And here's the best part. I mean, the ingredients were fresh, like you guys said. Dill in the ranch.
I mean, you gotta have dill in the ranch. Stop giving away our ingredients.
And that's it. I'm done. That's it. Just those two ingredients. That's it.
So, you know, salads, while you brought that up, that's another thing that was, we started testing salads probably 30 days before we opened.
Oh, wow.
It was not going to be on the menu at all.
Yeah, we were not gonna.
And then our wives were looking at us one day, like looking at the menu, like we're ready to go. And they're like, wait a second. You guys need to put salads on here. Me and him looked at each other. We're like, no, we're not doing it.
Yeah.
And then finally we gave in. We're like, okay. They like convinced us. We're like, okay, but if we're going to put salads on, we're going to do it right. So instantly, like same process, started testing all the dressings, making sure they're all made from scratch. And then again, we're like, we're going to make the portions huge.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
And that's how it started.
And it definitely worked. I mean, because you know, the kids will eat fried chicken every day, but mom's not going to want to eat that all the time. So
No.
if they bring the kids, they can have a salad. Kids are happy. Mom's happy.
It 100% worked. We are selling a
Yeah.
ton of salads.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like you guys said, it's a big salad. So, you know, you're getting your greens, but you're also getting your calories, and it's filling you up. So. The murals.
Yes.
Where did that come from?
I mean, again, we were doing our research, looking around at other places. You have to have like a cool, like you said, the vibe.
The
has
vibe.
to- yeah.
The kids say it's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
You got to say it like a Kardashian. It's a vibe.
Yeah, I mean, it just helps the whole, the whole experience,
And that's I've never been to Nashville.
Yeah.
I've had Nashville hot, but that's the Nashville. What's
Yeah,
that?
that's
The
Broadway.
Broadway. That's
Yeah,
the
that's
Broadway,
the
right?
strip right there.
Yeah. And so you guys did the mural, and we got Elvis there too.
We got
Are you guys
Elvis.
Elvis fans?
We got Elvis. Sure, who isn't an Elvis fan? You're not an Elvis
I
fan?
no, I'm an Elvis fan. I love Jailhouse. My niece is actually, her middle name is Presley.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So my sister-in-law is a big Elvis fan, and I actually got her an Elvis phone for Christmas, and he swivels his hips and does Jailhouse Rock and stuff. But no, I love that. And Cody and I were talking about this off air. Country music in the restaurant. Who else is doing that around here?
Nobody that I can think of.
Right?
No.
I don't think so.
And the big guy now is Morgan Wallen.
Yeah,
You guys know about this guy?
Of course.
You probably hear him like 20 times a day.
More than that. More.
I mean, are you guys sick of country music now because you got to listen to it all the time?
No, I like country music.
Yeah.
I don't get tired. And my wife's happy because she's a huge country fan. But
You guys didn't grow up like that because I didn't grow up a country fan until about it's like rock and roll died and then country just kind of came in, right?
yeah, this is lately for me, I think.
Yeah.
I made the switch.
What's any country guys you like listen to besides Wallen?
I mean, I like Wallen. I don't even know if it's country, but I'm a big Hootie fan. Darius Rucker.
Oh, he's totally country.
His
Oh
voice
yeah,
I love everything about it.
yeah. Wagon
Even
wheel.
when I was younger, that was my thing. Darius
Oh, yeah.
Rucker. Yeah.
Only want to be with you.
Yeah, you got it. A-I-O-U.
Hey, I owe you. No, he's great. He's got a great song. BS, and I can say this: the only BS I need in my life is beer and sunshine. I think that's like a perfect
That is
mantra.
all we need.
And you go to Broadway and you sit there and you hear that song and you're like, life is good.
Yeah.
Life. I got just chicken juice all over my face. It's awesome.
So we saw on your website that you're offering franchise opportunities. Can you speak a little on that?
Yeah, so we are now franchising. We are a licensed franchise as of last Friday.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Awesome.
Things moved really fast.
Wow.
You know, this has always been like the goal. We've always talked about it. We built everything like, the way we designed everything was to make it scalable. We didn't expect it to be so fast, but just the feedback we got from everybody, the amount of people that came in just organically saying like, wow, can I open one of these? Just naturally just coming up to us from literally day one,
Yeah.
led us to kind of speed things up. We do have some announcements that we'll be making soon. So you can now we are a licensed franchise, and we have a form on our website that somebody could fill out if they're interested.
Okay.
They can go on there.
That was my next question.
Yep, it's got a a couple simple questions, and that's pretty much how it all started.
Yeah, and I got to give credit to the big guy here. He's definitely with all the technology and just the way a lot of our systems and stuff. Because I'm an old school guy in my store. I have pen and paper that he makes fun of me about.
He still has a lot of pen and paper.
Yellow legal pen?
Yes.
It is.
Yes, I got it somewhere.
But when you step in, it just feels like a franchise already.
It does.
For sure.
You guys seem like you work well off each other, right? I mean,
sometimes.
I mean, you guys seem like when did you guys open? Was it January?
January 3rd.
Yeah, so it was January. You seem, and I know you guys are in the thick of it. We go by all the time. It's packed, and you guys seem pretty cool, calm, and collected. For 3 months in, and you
caught us on a good day.
Yeah.
Well, it's good. Probably what you did this morning. That's why, right?
You
I hope our wives aren't listening.
Yeah, I mean, we
had
were
a
there
business
last
meeting.
week. We couldn't get a seat. It was that packed.
Yeah, to come in and ask you guys, and we're like, no, we're not asking right now.
Yeah,
This is no way.
We wish we had some more seats. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's still early. It's still only 3 months.
So when we built it, right? Like, these are things you don't know. Like we were literally looking at each other the day before. Hey, we can open up the doors and just be dead all day. Like, no, it's a brand new brand. Nobody knows what we are.
Yeah.
And we have 32 seats, and we don't know, is that enough? Is it not enough? We originally didn't have a table in front of the logo. That was just supposed to be for people to take pictures. And just when the day we opened, we served 600 meals on our opening day. It was absolute mayhem in there.
Yeah.
We couldn't ever predict that. And then we didn't know, is it going to be takeout? Is it going to be dine-in? And our dine-in business is huge. And it goes back to what you talked about the vibe, right? Like,
it's the vibe.
The culture that we built. Everybody comes in, and so many people come in intending to take the food to go, and then they look around and they're like, you know what? We want to eat here.
Yeah.
We want to eat here. So now, like, one night, I have a video of it. I was showing Mike. I went over to the door, and I looked, and there was people lined up down the sidewalk. And I go back there, I go, Mike, there's people standing outside. It's 25 degrees out.
Yeah.
And he's like, what are they doing? I was like, I think they're waiting to come in. Just go talk to them. So I go out there. I'm like, guys, I'm really, really sorry, but we have like an hour wait. And they all look at me like, okay. And I knew then, I'm like, we were in trouble. We don't have enough seats here. So, the next restaurant and the future ones, we have to have, a bigger dining room now.
Yeah.
The dining business is larger than we expected.
All right.
I'm a school teacher by day and high school, so kids are brutally honest. And the last time I was in, I ran into a couple of my students, and they absolutely loved the place. So that's the high praise. I mean, if a kid says they like the place and they're coming back, you guys are doing a good thing.
Yeah, it's been amazing. I knew like the younger kids would like the whole thing, but it's everyone. There's older people sitting in, older elderly couples. That just everybody's loving it. It's been good.
It's been a blast. I'll be back this week.
Okay.
I got to ask because I got to go down this menu, right? Chicken and waffles. Now I haven't had it yet.
I did. It was phenomenal.
You had it?
It was the first thing I tried.
It had the powdered sugar on it.
Of
Yes.
course.
Oh God.
How do you have chicken and waffles without powdered sugar?
Listen, I've had chicken and waffles down south and no powdered sugar, but I think that's a great add-on. Was that just something you've seen, or that was right in the head?
I mean, I've seen it here and there. I just figure waffle needs sugar.
You're blowing my mind, man. I mean,
then you get a little hot honey drizzle.
Oh, now you're cooking with gas. I mean, this is. I guess this is what I'm gonna have on Friday. Oh wait, no, it's Friday. I can't have.
You can't have it.
I'm a Catholic.
You can have a
I'm
waffle.
gonna
just no chicken.
No, I'm not gonna do that to myself. That's torture. All right, I'm gonna come in. What's today? Wednesday, either Thursday or
I'll
Saturday.
have one for you.
You'll
Don't
have
worry
one
about
for
it.
me.
Yeah,
There you
absolutely.
All right.
And now our new waffles, by the way, we just got them about a week ago.
Yeah.
Our new waffles actually have our logo in the middle of the waffle.
You got a brand.
Wow.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
branded them.
Yes.
Branded the
They
waffle.
are awesome.
That's awesome.
Well, that was going to be my next question. Who came up with the idea for the logo? Because the logo is awesome.
So I've been in kind of like the digital marketing space for many years.
Okay.
So, when we decided to go with it, I just basically had a couple different ideas drawn up, and then we just talked about it, went through a couple, and then as soon as this one, you know, we built this one. We looked at it and we just knew, like, this is
That's
the
it.
logo.
That's it. It
And
pops.
like the neon lights in Nashville, the whole strip kind of,
Yep.
you know, kind of helped us out.
No, we love it. It's great. You can see it on 35 at night.
I know.
We know where you guys are.
Love it.
Well, I mean, that's all. I mean, we're rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
We could do this all night, guys, but I know you got to get back to the shop
Yeah.
for the
we
dinner.
do.
Is the dinner rush still going on right now?
We're probably missing it.
Oh, that's good.
It's good and bad.
Well, here's another thing. I mean, you every time you talk about all the people that are happy that are on the other side of the counter. Everybody who works for you guys super happy. I mean, that's got to be a reflection on you guys.
That's like a big thing in
Yeah.
our stores, that like we wanted to build an environment, and like you can go in there and ask any employee. We wanted to build an environment that's fun, and it's just it's like a culture, right? Every one of my employees loves being there, including us. Like we truly like being there. And if you go and read our reviews, all of our reviews are about the customer service. It's about the food, but everybody speaks in the customer service. And like that was a big thing for me. Is like you have to treat these people like family. Anytime somebody comes in, I want you to smile, talk to them, ask them how their day was. It goes a long way.
Sure. Keeps
You
them
know,
coming
Yeah.
back.
So now there's so many people. I can't tell you how many people come in. We know all of them by first name. They come in, they ask us about ask us about our kids. Like we just built this type of like bond with our customer base. And I always tell my employees, like, if you guys are having issues with each other, that's going to reflect on the customers. They're going to walk in and they're going to sense it. So we all have to be friends. We all have to work together. We all have to be happy being here. You know, and it's literally just, it's been contagious in the whole environment. Everybody loves coming to work, and we all have fun with each other.
Oh yeah, you can see it. One of the kids, you were putting like a powder in your drink. One of the kids was like, "Hey Mike, what's in your drink?" And he's like, "Electrolytes."
Yeah, yep.
And I'm like, by the way, if I ever like offended you in my dreams, I'd wake up and apologize. I mean, you are. Whew. Mike, what's the training like? What are you benching these days? Come on, you gotta give us a secret.
So benching these days is I'm actually trying to go light. I actually, believe it or not, I shattered my foot like
Ooh,
3 months before we opened. I was
Don't
in a
ask him
walking
how.
boot.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't want to talk.
you gotta
about
say it
that.
off air. All
I don't
right,
want to talk about that.
we'll do that off air.
So we're getting back into things.
All right.
But we do have a lot of fun, like you were saying. There's a lot of messing around there that we, fun pranks and jokes amongst the guys,
And as owners, you got to treat your crew with respect and listen to them and like you said, if everybody's happy, everybody works better, everybody wants to be there. And
That's the vibe. You could feel it.
That's
You
it.
could absolutely feel it.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I got a couple more for you. I don't think I said this in the beginning. As partners, how did you guys meet? As business partners,
How did we meet?
Easter morning.
Easter morning.
We're actually neighbors.
We're neighbors.
Stop.
Yeah. So my wife.
You guys live in Wall?
Yes.
You Wall guys? Nice.
Yes.
All right.
My wife hosted this Easter egg thing that I wanted to kill her for because there was about 50 people on my lawn. And then
My wife told me I had to go to it, and it was first thing in the morning, and
"Fine."
I didn't want to go.
Were you guys out the night before? Please tell me you
who
weren't.
knows?
That'd be like, oh, now we got to go do this.
Could've been. So we were just on the lawn. I met him. We were, everybody staring at each other, and then I finally said, "Does anyone want a beer?" He was probably the first one that said yes. So it's been.
And it was
now-
like 8 in the morning.
Might have been earlier.
It's been all downhill from then on. But that's the story.
Love it, love it. I mean, Easter Hangout's bringing people together.
Sure.
You never offered me a beer.
Yeah,
Why
I
don't you
did.
do that? No, you didn't.
What kind
Last week. Last week when you were over.
Oh, maybe I forgot that.
Oh, jeez.
So how long have you guys been local for? You said you're 2 Wall guys.
So I am not. I've been in Wall for 4 years.
Right.
I'm from Staten Island of it.
Yes,
originally.
because we could say this. God, your original business is.
Pastos or ravioli.
Oh man.
Yes, which is in Wall 2410 Route 35.
Yep.
I've been there for 5 years. I own one in Manalapan.
I've been in the Manalapan one. Yeah, great sandwiches too.
Thank you. But thank God I have those places because that's kind of where we perfected all our recipes. I mean, me and Mike have been in the kitchen back there. How long were we doing that for? Like
Probably about a
a
year.
year.
Oh, for Broadway. Yeah, for
Broadway.
definitely a year. Yeah, just
At
Wow.
night.
It just helped having that commercial kitchen at night. We were just testing everything, failing, testing, failing. So, it was a long process.
fall down 7, get back up 8. I mean,
Yeah.
I love that's why I love small businesses. Well, obviously, you guys are small for now, too,
Yeah.
franchise. I mean, just the ingenuity, the hard work, the sweat equity. I mean, it's incredible.
It's definitely been a long journey and a lot of stress for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, you guys look great for being stressed out.
Oh, that's because we golfed this morning.
That's it. I don't want to sell you guys out on the air,
Yeah,
but
that's all right. Our wives knew.
they knew. As long as they knew, that's all that mattered. Are you guys scratch golfers? Are you hundreds,
No.
90s, 80s?
Yeah, we can shoot in the 80s here and there.
Oh, 80s is good.
Yeah.
I like 80s. I can't shoot in the 80s.
They happen once in a while. The 80s,
80s is good. Yeah, I've only shot under 100 once. You don't golf, do you?
I don't. I'm a
No.
hockey guy.
You're that. Well, I mean, it's the same
I'm
kind
sure.
of, right?
Yeah, I guess like Happy Gilmore, right?
Play
Yeah.
hockey.
Yes.
You do?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 3 times a week.
Wow.
That Wall Municipal. They got the roller hockey over there.
I'm too
Wow.
old. I
was
need
gonna
to
say,
play
yeah.
a safe sport.
We just opened registration, so if
No, I'm too old.
Yeah. No, I mean,
golf.
we have 2 60-year-olds playing.
yeah.
Do you really?
Yes, the age range is from 18 to 60. With two 60-year-olds that are actually phenomenal. They're really
that.
good. Yeah, you would never
Golf?
know it either.
Golf is a very safe sport, so I'll stick with that.
Especially when you're shooting in the 80s.
now. Yeah,
Didn't you hurt your back this morning?
yeah, I did.
Tweaked it a little
I'm
bit.
hurting a little bit.
Get some icy hot on that.
I'm gonna have to.
So one more before we let you guys go. This one actually isn't written down, but do you guys have any goals for this year that you want to achieve or anything like that?
You got.
We do. We're looking for another location right now. We have a couple goals. I don't really want to get into too much
Nope.
detail.
Sure.
Because we are
Play
going
it
to be
close to
making
the
an
vest.
announcement. Yep.
Yeah.
But we have some stuff coming for sure.
Awesome.
Well, we love you guys. We're so glad that you decided to come to Wall. The
Yeah.
first store is in Wall.
Yeah.
And we're so glad that you guys decided to come on our show. Before we go, I heard you said something about
Oh yeah.
drumsticks. We gotta do this.
Tom's hungry.
And our signature comeback sauce. You might have had it already.
So this is Thor's hammer.
Oh, Thor's hammer.
Thank
Thanks, Josh.
you. So that's the drumsticks. This is our comeback sauce. That's our signature sauce. We got utensils.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Rich, if I stand up, can you see me or no? Yeah. I gotta stand up and try this.
Make sure you take the
dangerous.
bite next to the mic so you can hear it.
Oh, hear the crunch.
We're gonna get crunch.
I gotta bend down a little bit. Okay. Come to Papa.
You want to do it at the same time?
We gotta do it at the same time.
You have to.
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, this even feels great. All right, ready?
I'm ready.
1, 2, 3.
You can hear the crunch.
I heard it. How's that?
Oh, wow. It's phenomenal.
I have napkins, guys.
I'm so happy.
And you didn't eat beforehand.
No.
You're getting the microphone dirty.
I'm getting the microphone dirty. It doesn't matter. This is all that matters right now.
They're going to use this on Monday. There's going to be little chicken particles on it.
Oh yeah, listen to that
Wow.
crunch.
King Kong ain't got nothing on you guys. I mean, this
Very good.
this is fantastic. Oh my God. Should I do one more?
He's going to do one more.
And I get. You see the reaction? We get it so much.
So good.
All day.
All day.
Thank you so much.
And you know what? We never get tired of hearing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes
absolutely.
me happy. Makes me do the happy dance inside.
You guys are both mad scientists. I mean, this is wild.
Yeah, and this is only the beginning.
We've only just begun.
Well, that's all I got. You guys
Yeah, I'm
got
at a loss for
Yeah,
words right
I
now.
know. Kind of threw me off.
All right, we got Mike Filato, Mike Keller. You guys are great. You guys are awesome. Please come
Thanks,
back.
guys.
And when you have
Yes.
more news, come
Yeah,
back. We'd love
yeah.
to see you again.
Absolutely.
You don't even have
There
to
you
bring
have
the
it.
food next time. We'll just talk to you guys like we were doing. Phenomenal. You guys are fantastic. Thanks so much.
We'll continue to
Guys,
spread the
thanks
word.
for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, this is awesome.
All right.
So
Thank
good. All right, we got to do our spots.
You're up first.
I'm up first. Here we go. got a little chicken juice on my face there. I feel great. I'm ready to do the show for another 4 hours. Whether you're heading to the airport, a business meeting, or a night out on the town, TRC Transport has you covered with our fleet of stylish vehicles and professional drivers. Call or text 732-567-8284 today. That's 732-567-8284 today. TRC Transport, delivering your most precious cargo.
Experience the difference with Mighty Ducks Dryer and Vent Cleaning. Meet Chris and Chase Jacobs, the dynamic duo behind Mighty Ducks. With our expert service, your dryer and vents will be cleaner and safer than ever before. Say goodbye to lint buildup and hello to improved efficiency. Trust Chris and Chase to keep your home safe and your appliances running smoothly. Contact Mighty Ducks Dryer and Vent Cleaning today for quality service you can rely on. Your satisfaction is our mission. Call or text 732-925-1778 to make an appointment.
Met your Mighty Ducks buddy on Thursday.
That's right.
Nice guy.
Yeah, Chase Jacobs, great guy.
Chase Jacobs. He plays hockey with you?
He does.
Fantastic. Really, it was really great talking to Chase. All right, next up we have Amy DiPasquale from Mighty Masters. I'm going to give a little bio on Amy. Amy is a board-certified occupational therapist, licensed in New Jersey, and founder of Mighty Masters Therapy, LLC. She graduated from Alvernia University in 2018 with a Master's of Science in Occupational Therapy and a Bachelor's of Science in Health Science. Amy has worked with a variety of ages and skill levels within different settings. Her experience includes ADHD, autism spectrum disorder, cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, learning disabilities, and sensory processing disorders. She is passionate about providing children with a safe and fun environment to help promote success and independence in her daily goals and tasks. Sorry, that fried chicken is still in my mouth there. I can't even. How are you, Amy? Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Good. I mean, a lot going on here. And first off, I love what you do. When we were doing research for this off air, it's like, wow, this is going to be another fun conversation because this is something I'm really passionate about, and I know Cody's passionate about too.
Conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely with the
You can pull that a little closer.
yeah,
if you need
yeah,
that
yeah.
way.
Right.
Yeah, you want to be like an inch there.
There you go.
Okay.
So the children are the future. I mean, right? I mean, let's
Oh, 100%.
and we got a lot of things going on. It's a wild world these days where kids are kind of growing up faster, or actually maybe even slower than we can imagine. And so I guess before we get into all that, just kind of break it down. Tell us your mission.
Yeah, so with Mighty Masters Therapy, it is a company created by therapists, obviously to provide therapy for the children, but also to create a safe space for families in general. And that was really important to us too because, I mean, you touched base upon kind of a little bit about me and my background, but working across a variety of settings, early intervention, schools, I've been, all over from preschool to high school, and then also outpatients itself. There really is sometimes a disconnect with the family. It's very seemingly transactional. Like you bring your child to therapy, you drop them off, and then, okay, what do they do in therapy? I don't know.
Right.
So with Mighty Masters Therapy, we really wanted to make sure we incorporate, the whole family as a unit into what the children are doing at therapy and then also at home.
So when a child comes in for therapy, can the parents stay and then immerse themselves in the therapy, or?
Yeah, so we actually, we're located within Active Physical Therapy over in Manasquan.
Okay.
And we're in their pediatric gym. And so it offers a two-way mirror. So we can shut the light off and the parents can actually look in the big gym and see what their kiddos are doing.
Oh, that's great.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool about that.
Yeah.
With our younger kiddos too, sometimes we'll ask if mom and dad or whoever is present if they want to come in, just so there's like that patient-parent carryover from the session into whatever then we ask them to do at home or, practice at home as well. So it's very, we incorporate the family as a whole.
Right. So it's essentially in a basic sense of conditioning, right? So if the kids are coming in for an hour, what is it, about an hour a week?
So for occupational therapy, the sessions are an hour long, and then
Yeah.
speech therapy is 30 minutes.
So by showing the parents what you're doing there, then they could do that at home, and then we're reinforcing. Maybe that's a better word than
Exactly.
conditioning.
Yeah.
We're reinforcing
Correct.
those things at home.
No, yeah, and it's the parents we have found really respond well to that opportunity because, I mean, don't get me wrong, sometimes we have our kiddos that prefer to be just with the therapist and, have mom or dad, whoever, just sit outside or, they like to just have the lights off so they can look into the mirror and see, mom or dad are watching. And so if that's the case, and, the parents, they like to sit out there just to respect for their child. But the parents do enjoy coming in, so it's really nice.
Yeah, it gives them an opportunity to learn too, and
Yeah.
just
Absolutely.
implement that stuff at home.
Yeah. I'm sure it's not easy. I mean, you have three little ones at home.
Sure.
I don't have any kids, but it's not easy these days. It can't
No,
be.
it's not.
Right?
And to have the opportunity to see what they're doing and how they're improving, it's just huge.
Yeah. So if I had a child who needed OT, does their pediatrician have to sign off, or how do we get in contact with you at Mighty Masters?
Yeah, so we actually have a majority of our families will either be referred to, whether it's speech therapy or occupational therapy, from their pediatrician, developmental pediatrician. Sometimes for speech-related concerns, you will directly get a referral from like an ENT or an audiologist.
Okay.
We also do have, though, families that just upon, mom or dad or whoever is noticing maybe some certain things that just don't quite either sit right with them, or they just would like to, learn more, they'll do their own research and then, look out to whether it's the occupational therapist or the speech therapist, and we can point them in the right direction.
Okay.
Sometimes we get teachers from schools or like daycare workers who will notice with, the child, oh, so-and-so maybe should be at this level compared to the, other kiddos in the class, and they're just not right now. So we think it might be best if you seek out, additional help.
Yeah.
So we get a mixture of both.
Do you come into the schools, or is it just solely you're just Mighty Masters, your own entity? Do you do referrals in school or no?
So with right now, actually, we're offering to the local like daycares and like preschool centers. We go in and we do some free screenings there at the site. Oftentimes the screenings, if the parent takes us up on the screening and we do find a warrant for the need for further evaluation, we'll have them come to the office itself.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so it's we've actually just finished doing a couple screenings at Tender Years over in Point, I believe it is, and we got a lot of positive feedback about that. Parents were super, super happy.
Right, you're another set of eyes just to make sure
Exactly.
everything's going well.
Exactly.
Especially if you have a class of kids, 20, 25 kids. I mean, sometimes things, might not be as urgent as they can be if you have another set of eyes on. For all the people out there that don't know, what would you say occupational therapy is in terms of when working with kids?
Yeah,
How would you
so-
define it?
I say it's my typical elevator speech.
Okay.
So
the elevator speech. I'm ready.
Yeah. So
What floor are we going to?
The top.
All right, we're going to the top.
way, yeah.
The toppermost of the poppermost. You ready, Codes? Let's do it.
Alrighty.
So with occupational therapy, you really look at the individual as a whole, and you look at what their day-to-day is comprised of and what activities they partake in and enjoy to do. And we basically help them get their level of whatever their highest level of independence is, and we either help them back to that level of independence in their day-to-day or maintain whatever level of independence is most appropriate for them. So with like adults, you might think of post-stroke, hip or knee replacement, people who might have cognitive impairments such as, dementia or Alzheimer's.
Right.
And then with kiddos, breaking their day down as a whole. It's play and learning for the most part, right? And so with play, you're looking at social engagement, participation. Am I noticing, or is the kiddo noticing that I'm playing next to them or with them? Are they incorporating me into their play?
That's a big developmental step, right? When they incorporate you or another child into
Correct.
play, because for a while it'll just be them when they're younger,
Yeah,
and then how old when they're supposed to be playing with somebody else? Is it 2, 3? What is that?
Yeah, so you have what's called your parallel play, and so
Okay.
you have Johnny and Jen, and they're both playing.
Parallel play. I remember that. Yep.
Yeah, and so they're playing next to each other, and maybe they're going over and taking the blocks, but we're not interacting together. We are just two units playing next to each other, and then we hope that graduates into then that cooperative play. So now maybe I'm taking my trains and I'm knocking down your block tower, or you're doing this.
That's how it always goes,
It
right?
always starts that way. So so we look at their play skills, but then also more to that typical learning academic style. So fine motor skills, visual motor skills, your body awareness.
So speech pathology. You have a speech therapist
Yes.
on board that will help kids. I mean, what are you looking for? At what age would you seek out speech therapy for a child?
So again, I myself am not a
Right.
speech
Sure.
therapist, but
Yep.
in consulting with my fantastic speech therapists on staff too, we have had kiddos that have come in, as young as 1 with some concerns noted, and then actually, they're basically looking to see, is it more so that how am I engaging with mom, dad, whoever? Like, is it like the copying back, that type of like talking, like mama, dada, clapping hands, like peekaboo, or patty cake, like that level
Right.
style. And so kiddos like as young as that, but a majority of the kids that come in for speech therapy to start are oftentimes 2, 3,
Okay.
start young.
Right.
And as a parent, it's hard to tell too because each kid develops at their own rate as well,
100%.
right?
Yeah, and so that's very important too to kind of we stress that with our families where obviously there are developmental milestones and checklists, in place for you to look and observe and take note of. But, we are huge advocates for everyone develops at their own pace,
Sure.
whatever that looks
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly. We just want to make sure that we're then here to support that child finish that race however they need to, right?
Right. So in the speech end, is that essentially what your speech pathologist or speech therapist is doing? They're doing peekaboo stuff like that, or is there different techniques or?
There's lots of different.
Do you have
levels,
one example of that, or do you know off the top of your head? If not, we'll book the speech pathologist next time.
No, so with speech, speech as a whole looks as to how a child is able to communicate and however that communication looks like. And so you're talking about building your vocabulary, right?
Okay.
So it's not like a drill sergeant, like, okay.
It's not rote.
No, yeah. Like, here's car, say car. That's one thing I've learned from my speech therapist is the phrase, that carrier phrase, oh, say this, say that.
Not going to do it.
Let's stop, because then your kid is just going to be like, say paper, say pen, say duck. Like,
They're going to
what is
build
that?
up maybe an anxiety or
Correct.
or it's going to be a negative thought process to that, right?
Exactly. And so they're basically working on establishing that vocabulary, expanding it, but in a fun play way. So like I was saying, like that peekaboo or that pretend play. So, pediatric therapists kind of get a rap about, all you do is play. Are you kidding me? Like, that's your work? And it's like, well, yeah, we're playing, but every single bit of play is the task analysis behind it is thought out to a T. There is no just, I'm playing to play. It's the kids playing to play. And we're in the background. It's like, okay, we're targeting this.
Right. It's a bigger picture.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, any adult will tell you if you have kids or not, if you're the aunt or uncle and you're playing with kids for 2 hours, it's a job.
Yeah. It's exhausting.
One of my best friends, he's got 3 kids under 5, and I love them to death. They call me Uncle Tom. But you get a workout. 2 hours, you're
Especially
earning your
boys.
paycheck. Especially oh yeah, it's great though. They're
It's
funny.
all physical then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna get back to the questions here. I got off topic, but okay. So I'm gonna hopefully not butcher this
Okay.
because I know I asked you this one off air. Wait, I think I got this. What is childhood apraxia? Did I nail it?
Praxia.
Apraxia.
So
I forgot the
close.
I.
You're so close. No, so I am going to reference my little speech therapy cheat sheet.
Okay,
Again,
you got a
not
cheat sheet.
not a
Let's
speech
do.
therapist.
So we're still on speech therapy.
Yes. So childhood apraxia of speech, it's a neurological condition, and it basically is your child knows what they want to say, but they're having a hard time articulating it, and it's affecting the planning of like your jaw, tongue, lips, cheek, like all
okay.
of that.
Yep.
And so your child might know what they want to say really, really badly, but it's not coming out as like a fluid, like intelligible sentence.
Okay.
From the bringing to the mouth, basically.
Correct. Yep.
How long have you been doing this for, Amy?
I've been in OT now for close to 7 years.
So it's 7 years. So what? 2017.
Yes.
So in 7 years, and we've all lived a lifetime in the 7 years. Like when people talk about 2019, I think it's like 25 years ago.
Right.
You know, have you seen like a delay in development more so now than you did in 2017? Can you speak on that?
Yeah. No. So, I mean, there's actually I could be here all night talking about
Yeah.
kind of the change in the developmental delays and how the progression of it, I should say, because, I mean, just to start, like, as recently as 2022, right? The CDC changed they adapted, I should say, their developmental checklist.
Okay.
Right.
Yep, I remember that.
And so it caused a big uproar in a lot of the pediatric community because it removed and pushed back a lot of milestones, such as like they removed crawling completely. They pushed back walking and talking. So walking, I believe, was from 12 months to 18 months, and
Right. Yep.
talking was like 15 months to 12 months to 15 months or whatever it was. And it basically kind of it gave parents a false narrative, essentially, if you will. Like, now the guidelines that they had to check, it was, again, granted, it's okay, like, everyone develops at their own rate, we get that, but now it's that wait and see, like, oh, well, this is the previous standard, right, where you should have been crawling or walking at this point, and now we're just going to kind of move that aside.
Can that be like a negative because then you're waiting longer, right? So, okay, now I shouldn't look for crawling at 12 to, or not 12 to 18 months. I shouldn't look at walking from 12 to 18 months. And now I'm just going to keep waiting and waiting, and maybe there is a slight problem or something that needs to be addressed, and I'm not going to do it because the CDC told me not to.
Yes.
Right. And who knows your kid better than you?
Right,
you know?
right.
And so it kind of, and that's the the most important part is who knows your kid better than your parent. And then when your parent doesn't really have that set, but again, they still have most of their, guidelines, checklists are still the same, and it's absolutely fantastic. But it was like, in particular, I can speak on crawling. The act of crawling itself, is so important for not only just your motor, your visual, but also your, like, to integrate your reflexes.
Yeah.
And so, like, think about your balance and your equilibrium in your ears, right? So when you're crawling and your head is moving, or the baby's head, I should say, is moving all over the place, it's helping their inner balance and to kind of mature and develop. That way, when they then go from walking and they're toddling around and they're bashing into things, it's a struggle to keep them safe, but at least their inner body is safe because, they already went through that process.
Right.
Their body kind of was able to right itself, and now it might not be. So parents were able to, if their kiddo wasn't crawling, maybe I should, check this out. But now that it's taken away, parents like, okay, not a problem. When in actuality, it could
can
cause
be,
a
and
problem.
it can maybe cause it to extrapolate, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
I actually have, and this is my 2 cents. This is like, drugstore psychology here. I don't know. So you could tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
All right. So I have a theory. So, and we don't have to talk about 2020, but like let's take like my grandfather, for example. He fought in World War II, right? And he was off in World War II at 18. He was born in 1924, 18 or 19 years old. Now, if you're 18, and I'm not above this, I did the same thing when I was 18. You're eating pizza and you're playing Call of Duty and, you're hanging out and texting your friends and going to Wendy's and stuff like that. So, people are living longer. If you're 28, you may have a girlfriend. You're probably still playing video games, as opposed to my grandfather when he was 28, he had 3 kids. So, my grandmother, she had my dad when she was 22. So, like, is this something that comes across in your studies that might just be a new pattern of human development where we're just living longer and people are just developing later?
Well, to touch upon that, I mean, today's day and age, there's a certain level of awareness and like the ability to have access. Well, honestly, it's access and awareness. And so, maybe back in the day, things that would have been flagged right now as concerning or something that would have been, referred to for, therapy or, a doctor wasn't necessarily thought of as an issue back then because maybe it wasn't something you think to look at. So that's kind of one thing. And now there's also the awareness of it where everyone kind of is on top of it. Like, for lack of better words, like no one really ever wants there to be something not right. Right. So everyone is very hyper aware for the most part, we found. So that's kind of an indicator, in my opinion, why we're seeing an influx of referrals or people seeking out assistance. Another thing, again, and just in my opinion too, is screen time. A lot of our kids have access to screens all day long.
Yeah.
And so when you're looking at a screen for a good majority of your day, your brain is reacting to
right, and you're not
what's
working
in
on
front
your
of
motor
you.
skills,
Correct.
right, like you were saying before.
And then also too, just like, dialect and conversation, like I'm looking at you and I'm looking at you, Cody, and I'm able to pick up on your facial expressions, your body language,
Let's
right?
look at Cody. Hello, Cody.
And so I'm able to kind of learn from, Cody's demeanor and his mannerisms to me. Whereas on a screen, it's just, right, it's just a screen. I'm not seeing, and your, animation is fantastic. Again,
But there's no interaction.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. So, kiddos are kind of only exposed to that. And then also too, they're, hyped up on it. So their brains are go the whole time. It's almost like they're just on a constant high from screens and TV. So when you take that away, that's where we actually get a lot of kiddos who have a hard time with transitions, their emotional regulation.
I was going to say it becomes emotional, right?
It does, because it's devastating to them. I like to tell my parents, think of it, you're an adult, you're a big person with big feelings, and you know how to navigate your big feelings. Now we have a little kid who still has big feelings in a little body and an inability to express themselves. So
Right.
yes, it's a tantrum, but 9 times out of 10, that the root cause of the tantrum is actually something that's, devastating to them, where it's just like, okay, you don't need your tablet all the time, Johnny, like, stop. But it's like, to them, to Johnny, it is a big deal.
Right.
So kind of see a little bit.
Is that before parents get to Mighty Masters? Like, say if they're trying to be preventative, is that like the biggest advice you could give them? Limit your screen time with your children, or no screen time?
So I'm definitely not a no screen time, all screen time's bad. I think everything in moderation.
Sure.
I think that parents should be super mindful of what their kiddos are consuming. So, you know, pictures and videos that are like super high contrast and flashing lights and all these different, you know, fast-paced talking individuals.
What's that show, Baby Coco? Like that?
Cocomelon.
Cocomelon? Oh, God.
I personally not a big fan of Cocomelon.
I
know a lot
I
of
don't
kids
blame you.
are. A lot of kids are a fan of Cocomelon.
I got brainwashed by Cocomelon.
I
was
can't.
babysitting.
I
was like,
can't
what
stand it.
is this?
I tell parents, I give them, you know, different alternatives. Like I love, it's on YouTube. It's called Simple Songs, and it's all
Simple
your
Songs.
classic nursery rhymes.
Yeah.
And they're all so.
Bring those back. We had Sharon, Lois, and Bram when we were kids. You remember Sharon, Lois, and
Yes,
Bram?
lamb chops, right?
Yeah, lamb chop too.
So kind of things like that are just more
Yeah.
like even keeled out. They're not as intense, but they're still fun and engaging for kids to watch.
How do you feel about Miss Rachel?
I actually, I don't mind her. I think
I don't mind her either.
I don't. I mean, she's. I think the root of it is fantastic. It's, you know, she's engaging.
She was
with
in
the kiddos
speech,
front of
right?
her.
Wasn't she? Yeah.
Or to an extent, I believe. I don't know
Yeah.
if she's actually a speech language therapist, but I know
Right.
she's in that world somehow. But she's fantastic because it's like almost that pause and react type of, like I say, like Dora the Explorer. You know what I mean? Like it's Swiper, like, or where is he? And it's that wait, and then the kiddo responds back. So she
Right.
kind of incorporates a lot of that, and then it's speech and signs, and you know, a lot of my kids actually know more sign language than I do.
Wow.
From Miss Rachel or from the different sign videos that they have out now on YouTube, and that they teachers incorporate into their day. I'm obsessed with when I was back in the preschools. My one teacher was every day we did the signs of the alphabet, and I had one kiddo who not a lick of he could not speak at all. He was just not communicative, you know, vocabulary wise. But he would sit next to me and he would rapid fire sign through the alphabet, and he would learn signs for the different things around him. And it was the only time he got sign language was for the morning group meeting, you know, with his teacher. But it was fun.
And that's
and
how he was
engaging.
communicating to the
Yeah,
world.
so it was
Oh, that's
really
sweet.
yeah.
Did he eventually?
So when I left him, he still wasn't very vocally communicative. He communicated in, you know, like signs, but also hand holding, walking around, always gave me a big hug and a kiss. He was so sweet. So I think he had a little bit, you know, more of a vocalization when I left, but unfortunately when I left, he wasn't really speaking much.
Let's talk about the pandemic real quick.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, obviously this was a big thing for everybody. Did you see a recent uptick in your field with developmental issues?
Yes, and a huge uptick. So, in particularly with transitional skills, anxiety, regulation, and it was honestly because these, you know, poor little babies, the little kids, their whole life was the four walls of their house, you know, the family that was inside of it, which is, you know, not to say that's not good. But
Everything moderation, though, right?
yeah, like they weren't
Right.
able to go to the playground, to the parks, to
Socialize.
socializing, going to the store, sitting in the cart with mom, dad, or whoever, and looking at the people up and down the aisles, you know, like sights, sounds, smells. And then that was, a good 3 full years of their life.
At least.
Transition into schools, and even schools itself, masked up. When I was in elementary school, there was no group communal like desk situation with the kiddos. It was everyone was at their own desk, right? So think about how important that is for those young kiddos to be able to sit like how we're sitting face to face. And again, like I said, I'm looking at you and I'm looking at you and I'm seeing your eyes, how you're responding to me, or your body language. I can't, you know, I don't know what's happening over here or here.
Right.
And so with that being said, a lot of kids have had and continue to have a hard time with the transitions as a whole, the anxiety, truly, really. I'm seeing a lot of anxiety in my young kids.
In the field that you're in, did the CDC or any other governmental agency come out and say, you know what, that wasn't a good idea what we did for the kids, even though we thought it was at the time? God forbid if anything comes like this again, we're not going to do it. We're not going to mask up the kids. We're not going to, you know, have them sit inside. Is that, or at least is what you do, OT, are there studies out there that say, yeah, we're not going to do that again? That was not a good thing.
So to my current knowledge, there hasn't been any acknowledgement or statement like that put out.
Yeah.
I do know that within my profession and within, you know, speech therapy too, the awareness in our day-to-day has really kind of, you know, the lights have been turned on because like, oh my goodness, like what is this? So now you're seeing a lot of groups and like play groups and mommy and me stuff, and actually Mighty Masters Therapy itself, the idea behind it started out as a social play group because of the difficulty and the issues we were seeing post-pandemic with play and socialization. And so,
I'm glad they're bringing the play groups back. I mean, some of my first memories as a kid is a play group. My mom had me in like every play group every
Yeah.
day. I mean, I thank her for that. But
You remember all that?
I do. Yeah, I have a really
I can't
good
remember
memory.
what I did last week.
I remember. Listen, I remember seeing Ghostbusters 2 in theaters. That was like 1989. But I'm glad play groups are making a comeback.
yeah. So it's been very. I know that we still host our play groups on Saturdays. We actually have our next one this Saturday in particular, and we've such a great feedback from the parents and the kids as a whole. They now call each other like the ones who have come back for this year's play groups. They're friends. They were so excited to see their friends, and
That's good.
That right there is just
That's huge.
That's
You guys serve Juicy Juice?
No one can come and drink food and juice in our room.
No, I
It's
don't even think
messy.
they even make Juicy Juice anymore. That was
think so.
that stuff
I don't
was.
know.
Whoo. You were like just more thirsty after drinking that, right? Remember that? Oh, right here. I got one. If I would jump in real quick, I think the last question we want to tackle today, and we appreciate you coming on, Amy, is children with autism. Are there? Again, I know this is a broad question,
Yeah.
but it's something that's not talked about enough, I feel. And autism, I mean, is something that are there links to it being genetic and environmental? Anything out there? Any notice on that out there?
Yeah. So, one to preface again,
Yeah.
I'm not a diagnostician or however you say that.
Right.
Diagnostician. Nope.
We believe
Whatever.
you.
Yeah. Yeah, and or like a clinical researcher in this field. But there are a lot of the theories that circulate between genetics, environment, diet, the age of the mother, the pregnancy that she might have had.
Okay.
So there's a lot of theories that circulate around the finding the linkage or finding the root cause as a whole. And I know that the most recent research obviously focuses heavily on genetics and environmental factors.
Oh, so it could be a combination of both.
That's what, so I just finished a course actually, and they had referenced, a study as recently as 2013. And it, went in to talk about how there still to this day isn't a certain, genetic mutation or variation on any set gene that is consistent across individuals with autism. So
So it sounds like randomized based on that.
I mean, I guess I can't really speak much upon the methodology behind it, but I know that that's kind of where they're at right now, is just, again, finding the theories that are most credible and putting their money and effort, obviously, into. Because, again, it's different from, something like Down syndrome where the exact, mutation or on the gene.
Sure.
So, there's a lot of research. And I'm hopeful in my time that we'll see more information out there.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that actually one of the interesting parts about autism is that you might find, or a lot of people oftentimes think that it's your child has autism and then it's solely autism, right?
Right.
But in actuality, oftentimes individuals with autism also have another diagnosis. So whether it's ADHD,
Sure.
sensory processing disorder, oppositional defiant disorder, you'll have all these different other diagnoses that are in tandem.
ODD, yeah.
ODD, yes. And so you'll have all these different things that are working in tandem with autism, but because autism is more well known, that's what the main this is just autism as a whole. So it's like that label slap on it.
Right.
So I think that is why sometimes people have a hard time differentiating between autism and other things, because that's just kind of the main label that gets thrown around on kiddos, when there oftentimes is other things too that are working against their day-to-day.
Gotcha.
Rapid fire.
Rapid fire, you're up.
All right. What made you want to be an OT?
So I always knew that I wanted to work with kids to an extent. I thought maybe it was going to be like the education route, special education in particular. I have 2 cousins who are diagnosed on the spectrum, and I love them both, and I come from a very big family, and it was never any negativity or secrecy around their lives, their day-to-day, on both of my aunts and uncles too, like how to navigate their child and their participation and what their level of engagement in the world looked like. And so I always thought it was absolutely amazing and profound, kind of the experiences that they individually and then as a family had to go through. And so my mom always knew, or has always said, that I would be really good working with children and children with special needs. And my aunt herself was the one who mentioned OT to me, And my mom and my aunt are sisters, and they both, I think, kind of stuck that little seed in my head. And so ever since then, I just know it was OT.
I mean, it's God's work. I mean, you are planting that seed to a garden that you might not see grow, right? But
Yeah.
it's such an important first step.
I'll probably goof this up, but where is Alvernia? Am I saying that right?
Alvernia, yep.
Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I messed up
Praxia.
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 I was going to
Yeah.
get it this time, and you got Alvernia.
Yeah.
You get all the easy ones.
Ooh, yeah.
No, yeah. Alvernia is up in Reading, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And they actually, the reason I went there is because they have a 5-year accelerated program. So
Nice.
for OT, you have to have your master's in occupational therapy. So some individuals will go the route of 4 years undergrad in a related health science and then 2 years at their grad school. I was never the best at school, so I was like, I'm not doing 4 years and then another 2 years. I'll just hopefully do just 5 years and get to apply into it. It's very hard. Lots of long nights and tears, but it was fantastic, and I really loved it there.
Worth it in the end.
Worth it in the
Yeah,
end, 100%.
Did you play any sports or do any hobbies while you were there? Or no?
No sports, but my friends and I, we definitely involved ourselves in the fun little campus stuff that was there, intramurals, that type of stuff. It took up a lot of my time.
Sure.
Yeah.
So obviously with the Broadway Hot and Honey Chicken guys in here tonight, have you been there yet or no?
No, I haven't been there
Gotta
yet,
go.
but
You gotta
after
go
talking
now.
and
Yeah.
listening, I was like, okay, it's definitely on my list.
I'm gonna give this to Rich. Rich Pelosi's here, but he doesn't have a mic today. This is going right to Rich, and I know he's a picky eater, but this is gonna go to him. This is a doggy bag for working hard today.
So obviously, since you haven't been there yet, is there a special or a chicken spot that's your go-to or anything like that?
Not really. I'm very lame when it comes to my food, so I wish I could say I had something fun.
Because
or-
you got an interesting job. That's why something's got to be
Yeah.
lame.
Sure.
That's true.
All right. That's all I got. You got any questions for us?
No, I just want to thank you guys so much for giving me the opportunity to come on and talk and share a little bit about Mighty Masters. I really appreciate it.
Amy DiPasquale, Mighty Masters. You want to give us a email, plug, whatever, just to
Yeah.
get a hold of you?
So you can look us up on we have a website. It's
Okay.
mightymasterstherapy.com.
Very
We
nice.
also-
Very clean.
Very clean.
Very clean.
Thank you. Same thing on Instagram. It's just Mighty Masters. And then you can access, there's an option on our website for the email to hit us up there. So if you have any questions, like parents, we have different types of email slots for just concerns, general information, or to seek out the next step for evaluation.
Awesome.
Great. Amy, thank you so much.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
coming in. We appreciate it.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else?
Well, I think we're good. I think
Yeah, I
we're
think we're good. We touched on everything.
we
for
touched
now.
on everything today. So go ahead. You want to do your sign off first?
Sure. Do the right thing.
Great movie. Good night and good luck. We'll see you next Wednesday. Might have some important information for you about the Bobby Scholl Foundation. I just
very
got a
nice.
text message on that.
Awesome.
So, yep, we'll see you guys next week. We want to thank our guests, Amy DiPasquale and Mike from Broadway Hot and Honey Chicken. We'll see you guys. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
That was good, right?
Yeah, that was fun.
awesome guest.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
thank
great.
you. Thank you.
Just wish
You're
my-
cool under pressure.
Oh, oh God. Well, I hope it appears that way.
It definitely appeared that way.
Oh, God.
You were